Sebastian Vettel's racing resume is right up there with the very best. Third in the list of all-time F1 race winners and boasting that extraordinary run of 4 consecutive world titles with Red Bull. So let's remind ourselves of some of those dazzling moments from a remarkable career spent with 5 different teams. In 2007, in his second year as a test driver for BMW Sauber, Vettel's first chance to start a race came at the United States Grand Prix at Indianapolis. At just 19 years old, Vettel replaced Robert Kubica, the Polish driver still recovering from an horrific crash at the previous race in Canada. Thrust into the limelight in circumstances that would have fazed many a more experienced driver, the teenager produced a debut weekend to be proud of.
Sebastian Vettel, the 19-year-old making his debut. He's 7th on the grid. Great effort from him.
Vettel finished his maiden Grand Prix 8th and became, at the time, the youngest driver to score a point in F1. A safety car at the 2016 Chinese Grand Prix saw a flurry of drivers dive into the pits. Some went slowly on the pit lane entry, but a sharp-witted Vettel refused to be held up. Knowing that the pit lane still counted as part of the racetrack until the official pit entry line, he made a daring overtake and squeezed past both Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz. It was a daring, cocky and very smart move, which helped him on his way to a second-place finish for Ferrari. 2018 saw a super Saturday from Sebastian at his home race in Hockenheim, Germany. Valtteri Bottas looked to have spoiled the party for Ferrari in qualifying.
Provisional pole for Valtteri Bottas. Toto Wolff cannot believe where that has come from.
But with the Q3 clock running down, Vettel had other ideas.
Sebastian Vettel, if he holds this lap together, could absolutely smash the track record. Here at Hockenheim, Vettel crosses the line now, and it is pole position for Sebastian Vettel in front of his home fans.
I looked left on the grandstands and people were jumping up, so I thought it's looking really, really good. You don't have many of those days, especially at home, so that's really nice.
To win 4 consecutive titles with Red Bull was an incredible feat, and while that era of dominance was on the wane by 2014, Silverstone was the scene for another bullish demonstration of Vettel's guts, bloody-mindedness and racing pedigree. Chasing down a fellow multiple world champion, Fernando Alonso, for 5th place, the German was relentless as they fought a battle for the ages.
Oh, and he had to lift. Vettel had to lift.
Because he just went a little bit too wide himself, but he's still going for it. And this time he does want to get the job done going into Brooklands. But once again, Fernando Alonso fights back and just will not give up this 5th place. Vettel now switches to the inside. Alonso, does he have to give up? They're going wheel to wheel, somehow not touching as they go round Woodcote and on towards Copse, where Alonso passed Vettel on the outside a few laps ago, and on the inside, Sebastian Vettel gets it done this time. No man wanted to yield, and in the end, for this fight, Vettel wins.
Racing during a global pandemic was never likely to be straightforward, even less so when you've just signed for a brand new team. So, at a race as unpredictable as Baku can be, Aston Martin would have been grateful for an experienced pair of hands on the wheel. Last lap restarts on narrow street circuits call for cool heads and steady nerves.
Sebastian Vettel is coming at them as well. Perez tries to cut off Hamilton, who locks up and goes straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel, and then comes Pierre Gasly.
And Vettel was in the right place at the right time to make another piece of motorsport history.
Sebastian Vettel moved teams. He picks up his first podium for Aston Martin and their first podium in Formula One.
Yes, mate, well done.
Yes. Great job. Hey. That's a podium, man. That's a wrap.
I think it means a great deal. Obviously, it's been a tough start for us, and I think it was a great race. We had good pace. That was the key.
Leading the 2012 championship by 13 points from Fernando Alonso with 3 races to go, a hat-trick of world titles was on the horizon for Vettel in Abu Dhabi. But that looked much less likely after a fuel irregularity in qualifying saw Vettel sent to the back of the grid for the race, with Red Bull then opting to make some further changes to the car, which saw the German starting the race from the pit lane. And things looked like they could be going from bad to worse, the title slipping through his fingers.
This is where the incident happened, was it? Yeah, that's the damage.
Damage front wing. The front wing's flapping around like crazy now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why it'd be flapping around like crazy. He's had a brush with the barriers.
Yeah, he said I hit the DRS. That's to tell them when the DRS is available to them. What is he doing? He's stopping all the time!
Newly nosed, Vettel embarked on a mighty charge through the field, until he was right on the exhaust of Jenson Button's McLaren.
Here goes Sebastian Vettel on Jenson Button. Through the chicane they go, they're wheel to wheel. They haven't touched yet. Sebastian Vettel gets himself up into 3rd place, which for his own title chances are absolutely brilliant.
From pit lane to P3, Vettel's brilliance kept him his lead over Alonso in the Drivers' Championship. His dream of a 3rd consecutive driver's title still very much alive. Vettel's move to Ferrari for 2015 was always likely to invite comparisons with his hero Michael Schumacher and his 5 world titles for the Scuderia. Could another German bring the glory days back to Maranello? At the second round at Sepang, one of the most physically demanding circuits on the calendar, the early signs were positive. Starting on the front row behind pole sitter Lewis Hamilton, with track temperatures in excess of 60 degrees, Vettel and Ferrari played it cool, staying out while both Mercedes pitted under an early safety car. Stopping later and now on fresher hard tyres, Vettel was able to put the move on Nico Rosberg.
Good boy, good boy.
And a slick second stop saw Vettel exit still ahead of Rosberg and just behind Hamilton, the Briton on a set of ageing hards. Without a win since Brazil 2013, Vettel wasn't going to let this opportunity slip by.
Sebastian Vettel swerving, weaving, dancing to the checkered flag. He wins.
Yes! Sì, ragazzi! Oh, mi senti? Mi senti? Grazie, grazie, grazie! Dai, forza Ferrari!
Ferrari were back on the top step for the first time in 2 years. The significance of an incredible win was not lost on the man himself.
The day today, the race, really spot on. The whole team was there. Great strategy, great pace. So we beat them fair and square. So thanks to the team here, thanks to all the team in Maranello.
In 2012, the driver's title went down to the wire, and Vettel needed all his experience and skill to eke out a finish that would secure him his 3rd successive crown. But he did it the hard way. Leading Ferrari's Fernando Alonso by 13 points as they arrived at Interlagos, the tricky wet-dry conditions saw both men qualify poorly. Vettel 4th and the Spaniard down in 8th. But a terrible start from the German saw him drop down the order, while Alonso shot forward, and things quickly got worse for the defending champion.
Oh, look, it's a Red Bull! It's a Red Bull! It's Sebastian Vettel in the middle of the track! It's the worst possible scenario for Sebastian Vettel, who started on the 2nd row and is now running right down at the bottom of the field.
Up ahead, Alonso passed Vettel's teammate Mark Webber for P3, making him the champion-elect out on track. But despite a damaged side pod and dropping all the way down to 22nd place, Vettel began to cut his way through the field. Rain and safety cars played their part, with Vettel being allowed through by Schumacher into the 6th place he needed to secure the title. One of F1's most chaotic races came to an abrupt end when Paul di Resta crashed on the start-finish straight, bringing out the safety car to guide the remaining drivers home. Alonso was 2nd, but crucially, Vettel's 8 points were enough for him to claim F1's ultimate prize by just 3 points.
You're the world champion! You're the triple world champion, Sebastian Vettel! You are the man. You're a triple world champion.
I'm really proud of all the guys in the team, you know, proud of what we have achieved. It's really not possible to find the right words, you know, being in the position that I am now and having won three times in a row. It's, you know, now I'm standing here, I don't know what to say.
2010 saw Formula One introduce a new point system, and the consequent title scrap was one of the fiercest in years, as Vettel traded victories with his Australian teammate Mark Webber, Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button of McLaren, and Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa at Ferrari. When they got to the final race of the year in Abu Dhabi, only Button and Massa had been edged out of the running. Alonso led the standings, 8 points clear of Webber, with Vettel 15 points behind the Spaniard and 9 ahead of fourth-placed Hamilton. With 25 points on offer for the win, it was all to play for. Webber was first of the title contenders to pit, with Alonso following 4 laps later. But their strategy was flawed as they got stuck behind slower cars, unable to find a way through. This left Vettel and the 2 McLarens unchallenged out at the front, and a nervous wait for the 23-year-old to become F1's youngest world champion.
Okay, Sebastian, good job. I need to wait until everybody crosses the line. I need to wait, but it's looking good. You just wait, sunshine, you just wait. Hamilton, P2, Button, P3. Rosberg, P4, Kubica, P5. Du bist Weltmeister!
Unbelievable! Thank you, I love you.
Sebastian Vettel, you are the world champion. The world champion. Well done, enjoy it. You are the man.
What an achievement. The youngest world champion in Formula One history.
I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I don't know what you're supposed to say in this moment. Today was a special day all around. We have only really led this championship once, and when it matters, so.
Vettel's first full season of Formula One in 2008 saw him produce one of the most incredible performances in F1 history at Monza, just down the road from the factory of his Toro Rosso team. He'd made 5 top 10 finishes already that year, but his car was hardly a front runner. Yet come a wet qualifying, Vettel banked a brilliant early lap and secured provisional pole, with only Felipe Massa still in the running to spoil the party. And when the Brazilian could only manage 6th fastest, Vettel became the youngest ever F1 pole sitter at the tender age of 21 years and 72 days.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable, incredible.
The rain didn't quit on Sunday, and neither would Vettel.
Vettel hits it, and away we go. We're racing at Monza. Sebastian Vettel leads a Grand Prix for the first time.
Who, despite being predicted to fall back quickly down the order, drove out of his skin to secure a miraculous lights-to-flag victory that belied his youth and marked him out as a guaranteed star of the future in Formula One.
Sebastian Vettel is a Grand Prix winner for the first time. He's the youngest ever, and that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in Grand Prix racing.
You have won the Italian Grand Prix. You have won the Italian Grand Prix. I'm proud of you. Bravissimo. Bravissimo. Impressionante.
I don't know what to say. I miss the word. Grazie mille. Grazie mille. Ungara, perfetto. Thanks. Wonderful race. Great job. Yes!
For sure the best day of my life. These pictures, these emotions, I will never forget. It's unbelievable. It's so much better than you might think it is. It's great.